Welcome. Prologue. Oops, my screen sharing is paused away. There is a moment in every woman's life when she realizes she's been walking away from herself, not because she wanted to, but because she didn't know how to stay. We were taught to ignore the ache, to dismiss the wetness, to hide the rage, to numb the grief, to pretend we didn't know what we knew. And so we tucked our wild into silence. We smiled when we wanted to scream. We gave our bodies when they whispered no. We learned to abandon the one place that always told the truth, our yoni. This book was never meant to be written in perfect grammar or theory. It was meant to be breathed, felt, heard. It is a remembering, a reclamation, not just of a body part, but of a body temple. Not just of sexuality, but of the soul of your womanhood. For years, I thought my universal problem. She didn't open, she didn't perform. She felt like a locked door I could not figure out. But it was never her that was broken. It was my ability to listen. The world had taught me to silence her, to doubt her. Just give me a sec. My child is crying. I'll ask her to bring him upstairs. दीदी इसको दूध पीना है तो ऊपर ले आओ ले आओ यहाँ से ऊपर ले आओ आ वो भी आ नहीं हो गया नहीं हो गया नहीं ना वो नहीं खाने के लिए नहीं 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 गुस्सा निकालने को नहीं देखो देखो नहीं पिएंगे नहीं पिएंगे had to change for my feeding clothes. Thank you for being here. Okay. The world has taught me to silence her, to doubt her, to fear her, but she never stopped speaking. She pulsed, she ached, she wept, she moaned, she whispered through pain, pleasure, wetness, tightness, numbness, and blood. It's very interesting. The day I actually put my invitation for this pre-book club, I actually got my blood. Um, and I wasn't supposed to because it's just 3 months and I'm breastfeeding. So it should delay by a year, but I still got it. And it didn't affected my milk supply also. So it was interesting. And when I finally listened, everything changed. The book is an invitation to listen with your whole being, to hear the quiet yes and the sacred no, to remember what your body has always known, to meet your yoni as a stranger or servant, not as a stranger or servant, but as your oracle, your teacher, your home. These pages are not a manual, they are medicine, offered from one woman to another, in the hope that you stop waiting for that permission and begin walking back into your sacred, messy, untamed truth. She was never silent. You just forgot how to hear her. And now we remember together. Welcome home to your voice, to your temple, to her. Tsunami saying your sister in this journey back home. I've also wrote a small um, note on how to read this book. So you need not to, this book is not to be read. It is a temple to be entered. Each page is an invitation, each chapter a ritual, each whisper a thread leading you home. Read slowly, breathe deeply, listen fully. You do not need to rush. You do not need to finish. You're not here to consume. You're here to remember. This book is best experienced in stillness, with a journal beside you as a sacred practice, with full permission to pause when something stirs. You will find stories that open the heart, reflections that awaken buried truths, rituals to return to your body. I've put very small rituals, except one chapter that I have put a bigger one, longer one, except otherwise it is just like 1 minute rituals because I wanted it to be simple. Dialogues to help you listen to your yoni's voice. Let this be your mirror, your medicine, your map. Let it meet you where you are, in numbness or pleasure, in grief or curiosity. So, wherever you are, it's a perfect place to be. Everybody's journey with this book is going to be different, depending upon at what time of your life, how you're feeling in this body. Let it hold you, let it speak to you. There is no right way to use this book. There is only your way, and that is sacred. Part 1, Awakening. She Whispers. The first chapter is called She Whispers. She speaks in pulses, in heat, in ache. She remembers the rivers before your name. She is not silent. You were taught not to listen. Your yoni is not just a physical organ, she is a living oracle. She is sensation, breath, pulse, and power. She says yes, she says no. She contracts, expands, shivers, screams, weeps, and whispers. You were just never taught how to listen. No one told you her voice mattered. No one told you. She held your truth. The first time I truly heard her, it was electric. A turn on sensation that was so alive. It was almost too much to hold. It felt orgasmic. It also felt forbidden. How can something this beautiful be this wrong? At what age you first truly heard it? This is a question that I'm throwing upon you. What was the first time? And maybe if you don't remember it, there's a number that comes. At what age did you first feel her? And how did it feel? For me, the number that comes is age 3. And it definitely felt good and wrong at the same time. If you get a number, please put it on the chat. 20. Thank you. 16. Thank you. How did it feel? Just acknowledge. If you don't want to write, that's okay. It is interesting to me that how, even at the age of 3, I can sense it was wrong. How deep is that conditioning? A little wrong, but still normal. Thank you. Because it is also not just mine, it is something that I'm also inheriting from generations. My mother felt that. I felt conscious of it and some shame. I can resonate with that. I was taught shame before I was taught intimacy. I missed a bit. Please, could you repeat the question? At what age did you first feel your yoni? And then how did it feel? I would look forward to your response. I was taught shame before I was taught intimacy. I was taught to hide before I ever felt safe enough to show. As a little girl, I realized that my yoni made adults uncomfortable. And so I blamed her. I silenced her. I asked her to stay quiet. And when I grew up, she listened. At 3, the initial feeling was joy and pleasure, which got clouded by shame I couldn't fully understand. Thank you. I totally resonate with that. As a little girl, I realized that my yoni made her else uncomfortable, and so I blamed her. I silenced her. I asked her to stay quiet. And when I grew up, she listened. She stayed close during intimacy. No matter how much I tried, she would not open. I called her frigid, broken, difficult. But she was never the problem. I just hadn't earned her trust. I remember feeling so fearful of just even touching her, and because I knew there was something, at the same time, it always felt dirty and shameful and wrong. I never asked her what she wanted. I only demanded she behave because every time She asked for something it felt so wrong to be given to her that I kept, parenting her in a way where, like, no, behave. How dare you? How can you? This is so wrong. This is the kind of conversation that I had with her for the largest part of my life, I believe 28 years. For the longest period, she kept behaving, or, or maybe she did not. But she held her ground. She whispered, in numbness, in ache, in that subtle quiet no, I kept overriding. Until one day something shifted. My partner paused. He asked how she felt. He touched her with reverence. He waited. He listened. He worshipped her, slowly, curiously, with no agenda. And in that moment of deep safety, she opened. It's not something to be proud of that it actually took another person to be and hold that space, which I wish I would have. Oh, she didn't just say yes, she sang it. She moaned, pulsed, received, expanded. And for the first time, I heard her fully. Hmm, Ex- Okay, okay, got it. Got it, got it, got it. Got it. Oh, maybe, maybe. La la. Shh. कहीं नहीं जा रही यही हूँ मैं हाँ 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 हाँ. She wasn't silent. She moaned, pulsed, received, expanded, and for the first time I heard her fully. She wasn't silent. She had been speaking all along. Through tingles, tightness, tears, wetness, pain, craving, and joy. She spoke through my blood, my orgasms, my withdrawals, my goosebumps. I had just forgotten how to understand her language. But once I remembered, every cell in my body felt her voice. Every heartbeat became an offering. Every sigh became sacred. And now she whispers and I listen. And that changed everything. So now comes the time for reflection. If your Yoni could speak, what does she wants to say to you today? I invite you to maybe again close your eyes. Put one hand on the heart, one hand on the yoni, and just ask this question. What would you like to say today?
Take care of me, take good care of me.
Wow, how beautiful is that? And how would you like to be cared for if you wanna ask another question? How can I take care? How can I care for you? What would you like?
Treat me with respect like that.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing, Sarita. Hmm. Okay, Mayoni wants to say breathe into me. Just breathe into me. Stay connected with me. Just breathing into her makes her feel more alive and more connected with me. When was the last time you felt her joy? I think personal events for me it's been quite some time now, maybe around 4 to 5 months. It's okay to move at your own pace. Ah, beautiful. Message, move more. Wow. It says it wants to feel safe before being held. Hmm. And what would make her feel safe? If you want to ask another question. When was the last time you felt hurt? When I gave her the same care she gave me. Lovely. When was the last? I think a lot of times so I feel guided to get out of my head into my body. Ah, lovely. The silence of presence. Hmm. So all she requires is your presence. Beautiful. When was the last time you felt her joy? When did you feel she was happy? Okay, that, that, for me, it was this morning. As in the starting of this call, when I was not recording, I shared how every morning from 7 to 10 a.m. approx, I go to a cafe, I do my writing every day. At that time, he's sleeping. So when I was doing that today, I suddenly got that, oh, like today is a book read, um, and my heart started racing, and I felt all those goosebumps. Then I walked out of the cafe and started moving here and there, and then okay, I again connected with her, and everything that felt like more of racing and anxiety really transmuted into me realizing my power when I connected with her. It was like every day, I felt like, "Ah." Suddenly, the moment I got reminded of that, okay, it's Yoni whispering, let me just drop down into her and let her show me the way. And suddenly it just transmuted into she. Oh, oh, of course, हो गया. She, like, she was telling me that, this is the amount of power that you hold. Now don't shy away from it. Don't run away from it. This is, I actually wrote down in my book, yeah, that if you have the power to hold this amount of energy, you also have if you have this amount of energy, this amount of power, then you also have the capacity to hold and contain it and also blast it, whatever you want to choose today. This is the kind of message that I received and I felt it joy. I wish I could show you. What is When he's full, वो ऐसे निप्पल को ऐसे ओ करेगा और फिर मुझे देखेगा क्योंकि मैं तो फुल हूँ ओम हम्म चलो हो गया तुम्हारा ना हो गया हो गया चलो मेरे साथ बुक पढ़ाई के लो चलो पढ़ाई अपन पढ़ाई के लेंगे अब ठीक है वी विल पढ़ाई हम्म
So cute, very cute. Yes, so cute. Yes.
अरे तुमको क्यों तुम्हें मेरी बुक रीडिंग में आना ही था ना वैसे 3 घंटे का ब्रेक देता है आजकल प्रोजेक्ट पर आज इसको उसी आधे घंटे में आना है मम्मी की बुक लॉन्चिंग हो रही है मैं किच नहीं आऊंगा हाँ 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 चलो So when was the last time? And I'm sorry for this huge distraction that I've put on your screens now. So when was the last time you felt her joy? Tell me. Hmm?
We are too joyful to focus on that now.
About seeing on you, Mama.
Now the inner child is out to play. What to do?
Whenever
So adorable.
Mama की बुक रीडिंग में आ गया मैं. So let me take a photo of this. This is Mama की बुक रीडिंग में आ गया मैं. आ गया मैं. हो गया. बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ रहे हो. हम लोग पढ़ ले.
What is his name?
इस घर का नाम तो यार इसको लड्डू और विष्णु भगवान जी एकादशी के दिन पैदा होता तो मम्मी विशु बोलती है. और मैं तो उसको सब कुछ ही बोलती हूँ. हाँ. और बाहर का नाम इसका आश्विक है. आश्विक which is a combination of Ashish and my name, which means blessing of Ma Durga and blessed to be victorious. Oh, oh. I felt a joy when I looked at myself in the mirror, into my eyes with a lot of love. Mm. How beautiful. That's so nice. I could just imagine. So, others, when did you last time felt her joy? And if you did not remember, you can say not, do not remember. There's been so long. If you're feeling it now, you can say now. Mm.
When I treated her right without any judgments, without being judgmental.
When was that last time? Of you, or if you remember,
Mm,
3 weeks ago. Thank you.
Maybe when I became a mother, that time.
Ah, what happened 3 weeks ago, Manvi, that made her feel joy? Okay, we got it. हाँ, बहुत निकल ली क्या? No, just nothing. Okay, he just feeling is all the joy is possible. When was the first time you silenced her voice? If you could get a age, if you can get a number.
The number which is coming to me is 7. When
Hmm.
I was 7.
For me, it is one. Interesting. At 11, when I got my periods. Yeah. I
When I was 7, I started to realize the difference of attitudes between the two genders, like how boys are treated, my own brother and my sister and me, and how girls are treated in a family by the same set of parents, by the same set of grandparents. So maybe that was the time when I took a lot of beliefs and lessons out of it.
yeah. Yeah, and how and that's so profound that you said, Manlini, that and how we associated everything with her. Because that was the only difference we could see, no? That because I have vagina, I have and you have a penis, then somehow it just makes me less. Somehow I became less lovable, less worthy, less valuable. That was the only difference.
The difference which I learned at that time was that he can and you can't.
Yeah, I hear you. I have been there and I've heard it so many times कि my chachi used to say अरे वो तो लड़का है वो तो कुछ भी कर सकता है बट तुम्हें उसको हाथ खा था उसका पेट नहीं भरा तो मेरा हाथ खाएगा no when I had to protect her better after I too became silent so I had to silence her too for society and after becoming a mother and my child growing up then thank you for sharing I feel you completely for because most of the time she never felt safe and we never felt safe even in our homes so then giving her the permission to explore and be that wrong was definitely a huge deal. I feel like she was always silent. I felt disconnected and unaware of her till I was 1920. Totally. For me, even the number came as one. I think this is something that maybe we also learned from the womb itself. Because the mother, when she is birthing, my mother gave me birth at 17. She had a child marriage. She got married at 9 itself, and then at 13, she came to my father's house. So they started living together at 13. Then 17, no, and then at 17, and then at 17, she gave me birth. And maybe she also had that thought that, because I have a Yoni, I had to go through this, and we had sex. Now I have to go through this pain. Now my life, what would become of my life? Because I'm a woman, because I have a Yoni. So maybe I also inherited it when I was in the womb only. And it took real deep work and to now becoming aware of it and processing all of it. Even when I got pregnant, I could totally feel the pain that my mother must have had when she was pregnant. All that in fears, all that identity shifts, everything is stored in there. Yes, Tibulina, you want to share something?
Yeah, so I think Malini shared it before that the distinction between a boy and a girl. And for me, it began when I was 11. I shared that I got my periods. And before that, this kind of distinction wasn't there. Like I would play in sports, and I was like, I had a very kind of like competitive and athletic edge. So I would participate in races, and I would be like, oh, I'm going to win. And I would say I'm going to win, and I would win. So I had that streak within me, and somewhere I felt that after I got my periods, that streak got disconnected. That I would say my inner masculine energy that I can connect with, because that was my masculinity that was very integrated before. But when that distinction came up in the outside, that now you are a girl and that is a man, that is a boy, and now you get to fear that because you've got your periods and now you're unsafe out there in the society. So this was the programming that was given. And then what happened? All of my traits, which was my integrated self, all my masculine traits, started to just I started to suppress that. When I do my shadow work, I'm actually reclaiming my masculine self, because when it comes to the femininity, I felt that condition that that's you how you're supposed to be. So that inner fragmentation is what I've recognized that was being reflected in the outside, that got created. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share.
Yeah. I totally hear you that when you go through a period, then we're supposed to behave in a way where
Mm.
the self felt that you have to now get loose of this masculine trait because now I have a girl, now बोलिए अब तो कन्या नहीं खिलाएंगे अब तो ये हो गई है कुमारी से वो हो गई है कुछ तो होता है and
Mm.
and hence our even femininity doesn't bloom because for femininity to bloom she needs a strong masculine container, a masculine ground to then flourish and blossom. And if the masculinity is not there, it cannot be feminine. For her to feel safe enough to fully express, she needs that space. Did I show my boobies in this clip? No, right? Okay. I just wanted to check my share in my room. Putting another human being first, a tiny infant, and then our own needs second is the most difficult thing to do as a woman, as a mother. I just remembered I became aware of my being a girl when my breast started growing. When I was 11, 12 years old, when I first wore a bra, I felt weird and awkward about being a girl. Ah, I get you. Ah, okay. So we have just 1 minute left in this session. So I'll give you this embodiment ritual to do at your own pace in the house. I'll put it in the group. And tomorrow I'll make sure that we have full Zoom. Check करूंगी मैं मुझे लगा था है. I'll close it with the whisper. Her whisper is the voice of goddess. And now you remember. Her whisper is the voice of goddess. And now you remember. Her whisper is the voice of goddess. And now you remember. If you want, you can close your eyes and let her know that I'm here now. I'm here now and I'm listening. I'm here now and I'm listening. Thank you for joining this circle today. And I'm seeing you tomorrow again.